Making the move from city to countryside is often a momentous step.
Never in a million years I would imagine I would be seeing a house like this. Never, ever.
But for many years, Escape to the Country has been supporting countless people on the hunt for a new home.
What do we think of this?
Oh, my chocolate box.
We've travelled to the most picturesque pockets of Britain
Take a look at that killer view.
That's amazing.
to showcase thousands of exquisite country properties
Oh, but how pretty is that?
that our buyers just couldn't resist.
Seriously, get your checkbook out now.
Join us as we catch up with those who bought their dream home
Jonnie! How we doing?
to find out how the move changed their lives when they escaped to the country. For many of us, buying a home is one of life's huge landmark moments. It's certainly one of the most expensive things we'll buy, and it's often a rather stressful process. For me, I really enjoy the challenge of helping house hunters find that perfect country home. And the happy results of that are what bring me here to Cumbria. Today, I'll be catching up with couples who bought the homes that we showed them and finding out how their lives have changed since they made their escapes. Situated in the northwest of England, Cumbria is home to the Lake District National Park, which in 2017 was awarded UNESCO World Heritage status for its unrivaled beauty, farming heritage, and the inspiration it has provided to artists and writers. Later on, I'll be catching up with Liz and Dave, who were drawn to rural Cumbria to set up home and a holiday business against one of England's most stunning backdrops.
Oh, that view, gorgeous, isn't it?
It's beautiful, it's lovely.
But first, I'll be visiting Jill and Peter, whom I met 5 years ago to discover whether Cumbrian country life has been everything they hoped it would be. Back in the autumn of 2012, Peter, a health professional, and his wife, Jill, a GP, were living in the town of Atherton in Greater Manchester in a 1960s detached house. But they were after a more characterful property in a rural setting.
I would really love a house that's in the hillside, protected from the weather, compact, but, you know, you have that warmth.
When you go inside, there's the wood-burning stove or the open fire.
Having spent their entire life going from city to city, they've put in a lot of effort researching their ideal country location.
So we narrowed the choice down to Cumbria. We've got the undulating hillside, which we both love.
Yeah. And I think also we should get a larger property for our money.
With retirement approaching, Jill was keen on pursuing her photography hobby in the great outdoors, leaving Peter time to create his own private hideaway.
Is it true to say a man is not a man without a shed? Where one can have his drink of tea, maybe the odd glass of something a little stronger. Escapism.
As well as character features, the couple wanted a house with a large kitchen diner and 3 to 4 bedrooms. Outside, they wanted up to half an acre of land for Peter to potter around in. And they had a £475,000 budget. I kicked off our property search by taking them to the parish of Bromfield, where I showed them a house with an ecclesiastical history.
So, I think as an impact house, this first property is just that.
Wow, that's got character, hasn't it?
Originally, it was a vicarage.
Right.
Until only 30 years ago, in fact.
Really? That looks great.
It looks good. Let's see it
good.
inside.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Please.
Let's go.
Good. Great.
Parts of the building dated back to the Georgian era, with extensions over the centuries that followed.
Now, you've got no shortage of reception rooms here. One through there, a dining room, which may be used a bit more regularly if you make changes to this kitchen.
Yes.
You could just knock this wall through.
You certainly could.
And
That'd be lovely size,
would be
wouldn't
lovely.
it?
There were 2 further reception rooms, including a spacious living room.
This is when you get the real Georgian feel.
Oh, yes.
Very, very.
Very nice room. You've got the light coming in from the garden.
Upstairs, there were 4 large bedrooms, including 2 doubles for guests, as well as a lavish family bathroom. The master was double aspect.
Isn't it beautiful?
It is. The decoration.
Again, the sort of Georgian style, isn't it, very much?
is.
And
And the well-proportioned.
plenty of room. And the feature of this house so much is windows and light, isn't it?
Look at the view through there.
Yeah.
Gorgeous, isn't
It
it?
is.
It is.
With the inside of the Georgian property impressing Peter and Jill, we ventured outside to explore the parcel of land on offer.
Now look at this.
And this is all included?
All in all, there are 2.2 acres.
Blimey.
Perfect.
We've got the vegetable patch over there on the left.
Yeah.
This area over here is what remains of a Roman fort.
Really?
Yeah. Now what you can do on this Roman fort is graze or mow it, which is all you want to
That's
do
all
anyway,
we want.
isn't it?
Indeed.
That's perfect.
All in all, quite a lot. How much do you think this placed on the market for?
I think it's going to be top end 470.
470.
470.
Okay.
I think I would risk going slightly lower. 460?
You might be surprised here then, this house is on the market for offers around £425,000.
Good heavens.
Gosh.
All this?
All this.
£50,000 under budget, this striking Georgian property had given Peter and Jill everything and more, leaving them with change in their pockets.
Overall, the impression of the entire house is marvellous. For Peter, plenty of lawn to mow and to ride on his ride-on mower.
We're still smiling. It looks like you enjoyed that one, didn't you?
We did.
Good. Okay. Next house coming up.
With a strong contender already in the bag, I then took them to the village of Hayton to show them a handsome semi-detached property built of red sandstone.
So, now then.
Oh. This is somewhat different to the first.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'd say. We're looking from, well, you see where the roof line changes?
Yeah.
Yes.
From the left onwards.
It's got a lot of the features of the sort of house that we would want. This depends what it looks like inside.
Well, yeah, I think inside you're going to be impressed. Let's see what you make of it.
Come on, let's go.
Despite its traditional appearance, the property had only been built a few years before, and inside had a spacious contemporary feel, but with characterful elements.
Nice big hallway again. Lots of wood everywhere,
yeah.
isn't there?
Plenty of wood, it's lovely.
Now, this room you're about to see is, well, there's a couple of rooms in one. But fairly
yeah.
impressive and finished.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Right up to date.
Yes, it's convenient, isn't it? You can be cooking away, have people sat at the table, really nice feel to it.
The large kitchen diner flowed through to the main reception room.
That is a good size.
This house has some cracking views. I mean, there's windows everywhere in this room.
Yeah.
And there's an office which is easily big enough to be a bedroom. I mean, they call it their 6th bedroom here.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not bad, is it?
That sounds very good.
There were 5 further bedrooms upstairs, all a good size, including a grand suite for Peter and Jill.
It's big. I really like this room. I could definitely see us in here.
And these rooms are...
Walk-in wardrobe.
Right.
And one of the biggest en-suites you'll ever see.
Yes.
All that remained was to explore the outside space. Sitting in 10 acres of private woodland and access to a lake shared with neighbouring properties, the house also came with its own private plot of land, but with a smaller lawn than our first house. Peter and Jill were pleased with the setting.
Tranquil.
Yeah.
The birds.
But it's the missing lawn, isn't
Indeed.
it?
What am I going to do with
Yeah.
the tractor?
Yeah.
Sell it for a boat.
Yeah.
Go. How do you value this?
Oh,
Not easy.
Oh, not easy at all.
470.
I would actually say it's over budget, and I would go for 485.
Interesting. This house can be bought for offers around £475,000. So you're there or thereabouts, aren't you?
Bang on budget, the layout and style of the house had gone down well, but the outside space seemed to be a sticking point.
The house, exceptional. I love the lake. I love the woodland. Limited space, I think, with regard to for a lawn allotment, greenhouse.
good day?
Very
Very
good.
good.
Something to think about?
Absolutely.
A lot.
Two properties down, and I felt like we'd given Jill and Peter two strong, albeit rather different options. They had the night to sleep on it, and the following morning, with fresh eyes, it was time to mix everything up with our mystery house. It was an option that would give them an income during their retirement. The final house was just outside the market town of Wigton, where I showed them another character stone property, but the mystery proposition was the income potential that came with it.
And this is it.
Oh, gosh.
All
yeah.
of it?
All of it.
All of it. Wow. It's beautiful. And the outbuildings. Yeah.
Yes. I can put my wee tractor in there.
Yeah, it might just about fit in
I think
there.
you fit your motorhome in there.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah. Wow.
The original farmhouse, painted white, dated to the 1850s. To the right was an additional annex in a converted barn, to be explored later on.
Right then, a bit of a theme with all three of the properties we've seen this time. One of a couple of reception rooms.
Yeah. Yeah. Cosy.
Very warm feeling.
You can see yourself in this room, can you?
Absolutely. I think just with a few cosmetic changes, just to suit, you know, our style. Nice, cosy room. Yeah.
Good.
There were numerous living spaces to show Peter and Jill in this substantial property.
So, every farmhouse needs a farmhouse kitchen.
And this is it.
Isn't it just?
Spacious, light.
Your snug will be round there, the doorway just through there, all coming off this main hub. Let's start looking at the rest of the property. So this is one kitchen.
Yeah.
But obviously it's not the only one. All right?
The mystery element was a self-contained annex, including its own separate kitchen.
We've got one house that way,
Yeah.
one house this way.
Right.
All this, the barn there was all converted back in 1999, okay? So this kitchen and dining area services the living room just through there,
Right.
Yeah.
with bedrooms above here. What do you think about that?
Well, it's not something we thought about, was it?
Not
But,
at all.
yeah.
Well, should we I tell you
Well,
what?
yeah, look, won't
I
we?
mean, you certainly thought out of the box for this one.
Yeah, I just want you to try and do the same.
Yeah.
With Peter and Jill mulling over the idea of running a holiday let from the annex, we explored the bedrooms their paying guests could have slept in.
This is one of two good-sized double rooms.
Yes, it is a good size, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
I like the features and the little windows.
As well as the two bedrooms in the annex, there were three generous bedrooms in the main house. Outside, the land amounted to an acre and included a large lawn for Peter to get stuck into.
Look at that.
Wow.
There's a
Yeah.
heck of a lot to think about.
Good. How much would you pay for this?
I think it is going to be on the top end or beyond it. So I would go for $490.
I agree. I think it's above the budget, possibly only slightly. I would say $480.
This place, as it stands, with all that you've seen and maybe are yet to see as well, is on the market for offers around £475,000.
Right on the money, the mystery house, with its potential income stream, had presented our couple with much more than they'd bargained for.
I think it's always worth thinking about something different, and it was well worth seeing this property, no doubt about it.
So, which of our three Cumbrian offerings won through in the end? The first, the extended Georgian house in a hamlet, had certainly hit the mark and was under budget, allowing them to make improvements. The second, the modern red sandstone house, had delivered on the inside space, but the garden was possibly too small. And finally, the mystery house had given our couple the option of turning one half of the property into a holiday let, offering them more financial security during their retirement. But which one sealed the deal? Well, it was clear right from the very start that the Georgian splendour of that first property really packed a punch. So perhaps no surprises for revealing that Jill and Peter followed through and bought it. I'm delighted to be here some 5 years later to see just how easy they are taking things in retirement, especially in such a vast property. Peter and Jill moved into the former vicarage in 2012. From the outside, it doesn't appear as though much has changed. But inside, the story's quite different.
Johnny! How
What
are
a
you
welcome.
doing?
Oh,
Hey,
very
it's been
well.
a while. Come in.
Was it 5
you.
years?
Yes, 5
Oh, he's still got the 2 kisses.
Come on through.
Come on through. Let's have a drink.
Back in 2012, I suggested knocking the wall through from the kitchen to the dining room, opening up the space for entertaining.
Now, I'm sure you remember this.
I didn't expect to see you still here.
Well, we
Well, that's
talked
changed.
about
It serves a purpose. I quite like it, actually. So have you put a new sill on it or something
Yes,
like that?
yeah.
It looks less like a serving hatch and more something that should be here, though.
I think.
Yeah, we're quite happy with this.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, do we really want to knock it through? No, we're happy. We'll stay with it.
Fair enough. What you weren't happy with, clearly, was the kitchen, because this
Absolutely.
all looks brand spankers.
Indeed.
It's completely
yeah,
new.
new units, new range.
Gonna
Yeah.
say, that
Yeah.
range, that's...
Well, we always wanted a range,
Repainted.
so we got it.
Fair play. It's a lovely kitchen.
We like it, yeah.
What other work have you done then? Because it's a big old house, isn't it? It probably required quite a few updates.
Indeed. Externally, regretfully, quite a bit of damp because of sandstone absorbing the water.
Sure. So
this gable wall in particular had to be attended
So
to.
some remedial works. What about improving the innards, if you
Okay.
like, the
The
property?
bathroom, the main bathroom has been completely revamped. But
Kitchen
to
and a
give it-
bathroom,
yes,
right?
Yes.
They've also updated the fabulous drawing room.
Oh, this is such a room, isn't it?
It is.
Beautiful.
It's everything you want to see in a Georgian house, isn't it? Now, I can see you've got a lovely wood burner. You've put that in, haven't you?
We have.
It's doing a great job. But it needs to, because this is a big property you've bought.
It is.
How do you find heating it?
Okay, 2 wood burners, one here, one next door. Leave the
Okay.
door slightly open, heat rises.
The bedrooms are lovely and snug, just from the wood burners. It's amazing.
No carpets upstairs, so the heat goes through the ceiling, through the wood
So
floor.
you've exposed those lovely old floorboards
Yes,
as well,
yes.
because they had carpets in the bedrooms, didn't
They
they?
did, yes.
The main motive for moving to the countryside was to live out a peaceful retirement. But it seems they haven't just been putting their feet up.
You were retiring into this house.
Yes.
What'd you do?
Lots. The house itself, of course, the garden. There's a lot of work to do there. We do play a little bit of golf, badly. We enjoyed taking the dog out for walks. It's just marvellous. It's nice to be able to relax as well.
And I suppose looking after this property, that becomes your pastime, doesn't it?
Indeed.
But I can also see you've got some cattle on your land. Is that have some escaped, or are you now farmers?
Well, they're not ours, they belong to next door.
Let's go and meet them, shall we?
Yes.
Yes.
The house came with 2.2 acres of land, giving Peter plenty of space to roam freely with his mower, and for Jill to grow her own vegetables. She's given over a portion of their garden to homegrown produce.
Now, when I showed this place to you, I remember walking around and the weather was dreadful,
It was terrible.
which can sometimes impact on your reactions. But if you like a property in the rain, you're going to love it in the sun, aren't you?
absolutely.
But looking around the views,
The views are
Fantastic.
stunning.
You've got to remember, I'm a Yorkshire lad, so we're used to a bit of rain and a bit of wind.
What's that there? I can see a view there. I didn't see that before.
No.
No, you wouldn't. It's Scotland. That's Criffel, the mountain that
Is
you
it
can see
really?
there.
Shows how far north you are, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
One person here very much put the cart before the horse. You had bought a ride-on lawnmower before I'd even shown you a house.
That's right. Yeah, and the second house you showed me, if you remember,
Well, you couldn't have it on that, could
I
you?
couldn't. No, you said, come on, what are you going to do, swap it for a boat?
So where is it? I mean, you're enjoying your ride-on lawnmower?
Very much. Upgraded it.
Of course you have. What you got now? Tractor, I suppose?
Well, no, the top end of the range. But it'll do what I need in the field. It'll do what I need on the lawns.
And it gets him out of the house.
It does.
Keeps him quiet.
Well, apart from the noise of the
Apart
tractor,
from the noise
yeah.
of the tractor, yeah.
Now, this is the first property I showed you.
It was.
Were you continually thinking about this property with the other houses that I showed you then?
Yes.
Comparing?
Yes. Yes.
This house has everything that we asked for.
It was in our minds right from, well, as soon as we saw it, that was it, really.
Well, it's interesting. Sometimes the mystery house will have an X factor, if you like,
Yeah.
something that really captures your imagination. But you are quite practical people, aren't you? And this ticked everything
It
on
did.
your wish
It
list.
did.
You know, as you said, you had in your mind's eye what it looked like, didn't you? On
Yeah.
slate roof,
Yeah,
stone
yeah,
built,
yeah,
views.
absolutely.
It's got it all.
Yeah.
But as well as finding an ideal house with the right land, they wanted to be within striking distance of a village location. Despite having a church, Bromfield is actually classed as a hamlet with a community of around 500. The pub is the main focus for the locals, and I'm joining them to meet some of their friends for a game of dominoes.
Let's have a sit down, shall we?
How are we doing, all right?
We're good.
Hi, we're good.
Was it quite daunting coming in to a close-knit, small community from your point of view?
Well, when you move in, you don't know how
Yeah.
friendly people are going to be. You hope they're going to be friendly, but you don't know whether they are or not.
Right.
And everyone's been really friendly, so
Yeah.
it's great, yeah.
How did you first get to know everyone? Did you come down the pub and just sort of
We came to the pub a couple of times early on, but mostly it was just bumping into people.
Has it been everything you'd hoped it would be?
Yes.
Yes.
We've kept busy. We thought we would struggle.
You're supposed to be taking it easy in
You
retirement,
are,
weren't you?
but there's always a job to do.
But it's a job that you want to do. That's the difference,
Exactly,
isn't it?
and you do it when you want to do it.
Exactly. All right.
Yeah, and you go and enjoy the weather when it's good, and yeah.
And I tell you what, it'd be dangerous if I moved up here. Your lovely house, a pub right in the middle of a community, with the lads to have some banter with, I'd be in here all the time. Oh, look at this. Come on, lads!
Peter and Jill found the winning combination of the right property in a perfect location with neighbourly company. It's heartening to have played a part in another house hunting journey with a very happy outcome. Retiring to the countryside sounds like rather a romantic notion where you while away your days in a state of contentment doing, well, very little. It's a bit of a myth, really, as we meet lots of retiring escapees keen on meeting new challenges head-on. Ginny Buckley found just that when she went house hunting with Dave and Liz, who were dead set on starting a new glamping business. In the autumn of 2016, Liz and Dave were living in Kenilworth in Warwickshire. After 30 years of marriage and with their 2 grown-up children having moved to Australia, they were looking for new adventures of their own.
We've travelled a lot in Africa and the pace of life is slower there. They live very time-rich lives, so we'd like to have more of that ourselves, really.
They were hoping to move closer to Liz's mother in Cumbria, but they also had ambitions of running a glamping business from their new home. But it wasn't all about work.
We both like walking.
And you like running?
Yeah, I like running.
Having the chance to go walking together, obviously lots of lovely places to visit. I mean, it is nice here in Warwickshire, but I think having a bit more wildness will be good.
With land the priority, they were after a property with a minimum of 2 acres on which to build their glamping business, close to local attractions. The house needed to have 3 bedrooms and space for entertaining. They came to the search with a £500,000 maximum budget. With the couple happy to look in both Cumbria and Northumberland, Ginny began by taking them to Holtwhistle in Northumberland, where she showed them a Victorian property on the outskirts of the popular town.
Oh, it's nice. Looks nice and solid and like it's been here a long time.
That's a good smile to start us off.
Yeah, I like the look of it.
Are you keen to look inside?
Oh, yeah.
Very much so, yeah.
Let's go and explore.
The house was being rented out, so required some imagination to see its full potential.
So straight into the living room.
All right. Quite nice.
Fire, that's good.
High ceilings, I like that.
Yeah.
It just looks
yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit like not loved, so to speak, you know, because like you say, it's rented out. So
Exactly, and
it just
that's
needs
the
a bit
beauty
of
of it.
Yeah.
It's waiting for 2 people to come and love it.
Yeah.
We'll move through to the kitchen.
Okay.
Great. I like this space. We quite like to entertain while we're cooking, so having people where we can talk is quite good.
Upstairs, there were 3 bedrooms, including 2 bright doubles.
So into the master bedroom. Nice Victorian features, that lovely big window, nice high ceilings.
I like the window.
I do like a bit of colour, so I think that would be the first thing you'd have to do is think of some colour schemes.
Yeah.
But it's a good size.
But the house was only part of the story with this property. To the side was a self-contained annex, which included a large sitting room and a double bedroom. It could have provided a useful rental income whilst Dave and Liz set up the glamping business. And with that in mind, they explored the outside space. As well as numerous outbuildings, there was room for a vegetable patch and a separate orchard. At the end of the main drive was a large paddock for the future glamping business.
So here we are. This is what 5 acres looks like.
It's big.
yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
You could manage this.
Yeah.
That's potential.
Well, you've definitely got lots of options with this one.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the part where we guess the price.
Right. I would say 485,000.
I'd go 425.
Different.
Okay. Well, I'm afraid you're both wrong.
All right.
It's on the market for just under budget, £495,000. So you were pretty close.
Yeah.
It's a substantial property with the outbuildings and the land.
£5,000 under budget, the first property had given them a house they could put their stamp on and plenty of business potential.
5 acres is a lot, now I've seen it, so it is a lot of space. It's a little bit daunting, I think.
I guess because it's at the top end of the budget, it's the scope to actually do all the work.
Ginny then took Liz and Dave into Cumbria to the village of Armathwaite, where she showed them a former gatehouse lodge built from local stone.
What do you think?
Is it a bungalow?
It's a reveal all inside. It's kind of a bungalow with a bit of an upstairs bit as well.
All right. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
The quirkiness of it, yes, yeah.
The property dated to the early 20th century, but had benefited from some recent renovations.
Straight into the cosiest of cosiest living rooms.
Oh, this is nice.
Oh yeah. Oh, nice wood burning stove.
The kitchen diner is a fantastic blend of old and new.
Oh yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah, it
great
is nice,
space.
actually.
This is, yeah.
Yes.
You're smiling, Dave.
Yes.
I like smiles.
Yeah.
With the lodge house growing on Dave and Liz, they explored the sleeping options. There were 3 bedrooms on the ground floor.
So come on through to the master bedroom. It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Smallish, I'd say, for a master bedroom.
Okay.
But nicely done out there.
And how does it feel, the thought of having a bedroom on the ground floor?
A little bit different.
I lived in a flat once, so I suppose it's similar.
Yeah, it's like a bungalow raised
Just like
up a bit,
living
isn't
on.
it? Yeah. So.
Yeah.
If they weren't keen on ground floor sleeping, they could have made use of a spacious loft room above. The outside space was the real selling point with this property. The garden wrapped itself around the house and there was an orchard and stable block. This opened onto 3.5 acres of paddock.
I think this was great, yeah. This is all usable, really, as far as glamping is concerned. So, great, perfect.
I'm intrigued to know what you think this house is on the market for.
I think 500,000.
500,000, okay.
I was thinking more 480.
Yeah, it's you're both wrong, actually,
Yeah.
because it's under budget.
Oh.
It's on the market for £400,000.
No.
Now you're smiling.
I am surprised.
Coming in £100,000 under budget, the detached lodge house and surrounding land offered Liz and Dave everything they asked for without the need for any major work.
My reservations, I think, were probably based on bias, thinking I don't really like bungalows. But now I've been inside, I have changed my opinion.
Wow, you went in subdued, coming out with smiles. What a great way to end the day.
I think you'll agree that Ginny notched up 2 textbook house tours there, with even Liz coming around to the idea of single-storey living. What's also interesting to note is that both Liz and Dave realised that finding the right house was as important as the land, which is just as well as Ginny still had 2 fantastic properties to show them the following day. Oh, and keep an eye out for a real first with the mystery property. The third offering was in the village of Ninebanks back in Northumberland, where Ginny showed them a semi-detached converted stone barn surrounded by open countryside.
I'm sure your eyes are going to be drawn that way, over there,
Yes,
to the
it's
view.
amazing.
But this is the property that I want them to be drawn towards.
Wow.
This 150-year-old barn conversion.
Wow.
The property was converted into a home 14 years before and benefited from large bright rooms, including a double-height kitchen area.
Because family and entertaining has become so important for the 2 of you. How about this for an entertaining space?
This is amazing.
Wow.
Wow.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm so happy to hear you say that.
You just would never have known, looking outside, that this was such a lovely big space.
Wow.
Back down the stairs from the kitchen and accessed via a hallway was another potential entertaining space.
So come on through to this cosy sitting room. It's got a very different feeling here.
It has, hasn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
This, for me, is where you would come when it's howling a gale outside, it's cold, you would light your log burner. I think this could be really cosy.
Yes, it would, wouldn't it?
I kind of get the hunker-bunker
Yes,
feel.
yes. It's a nice feel, isn't it, compared to the airiness of the kitchen.
One of the 4 bedrooms in the property was just off the sitting room. The others, up on the first floor, included 2 large doubles.
So come on into the master bedroom.
Wow. Another wow factor. It's really tall, isn't it?
I'm so happy to hear a lot of wows.
Well, this is very, I love the way they've done it. It's really nice. Well, this is very special, isn't it? It's very different. I mean, it's a whole lot different from where we live.
With the accommodation seeming to impress Liz and Dave, Ginny took them outside to explore the business potential. A stable block could have made an excellent holiday let, subject to planning permission. And the 2.5 acres of paddock and woodland was a prime spot for the glamping.
So what are you feeling now at this point?
Excited. I think the area is beautiful. The house is wow.
It's time to guess the price.
I'm going to go £475,000.
£475,000. Okay.
Okay. I think I'm going to go a bit higher. I think £495,000.
You're both wrong. It's actually on the market for £349,000.
Wow.
£150,000 below their maximum budget, the semi-detached barn conversion was the most rural property we'd shown Liz and Dave so far.
When we first came down the path and saw the property, I was amazed because it looked a lovely barn conversion. When we came inside, it really was one of those places you want to go, wow, as soon as you walk in the door.
We live in a semi-detached now, so, but not in a location that's beautiful like this.
And it was just as well Liz and Dave liked the setting of our third house, as Ginny was about to pull a surprise for our final offering.
The mystery house is the house next door.
Oh! Oh, that is a surprise.
There was no need for a map with this property, and Ginny already knew they liked the view.
This was the original farmhouse, that was the attached barn. They were both converted at the same time.
Right.
What do you think?
Well, it's lovely. I love the stone. I mean, it's great and it's very nice.
Yeah,
good.
I'm still in shock, so keen to have a look.
Yes.
Despite being neighbours, inside our mystery house had a very different feel to the previous property.
So straight in through the porch into this beautiful farmhouse living room.
This is very warm and homely. It's a nice cosy feel.
The farmhouse kitchen was also distinctive.
And again, you've got your high ceilings.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh, this is lovely too.
It is, isn't it?
Yes. Should really come up trumps.
Yeah, again, I could imagine entertaining here and family round. That would work well.
Yeah, big table space.
A cosier offering than the converted barn, the mystery proposition also featured a snug with multi-fuel burner. And unlike next door, all 4 bedrooms were upstairs.
So there are 2 doubles, 2 singles. This is currently used as the master bedroom.
Not a bad size. I always think if there's a wardrobe in the room, it must be reasonable size because you've got enough storage. Yeah, that's useful.
But it was outside that our mystery element was about to be revealed. The property gave them nearly 5 times more land than they asked for, providing never-ending options for their ventures.
So,
Wow.
pretty little spot to sit and admire your 9 acres from.
Seems to go on forever from this vantage point.
Yeah,
but,
it's probably more than we
it's more than we
envisage or
would
need,
really.
really.
Okay, so we've seen the house, the gardens, the land. Let's guess the price.
Okay, so I think maybe £435,000.
I think I'm going to go £390,000.
Right.
I'm afraid to say that you're both wrong again on this one.
We're not very good at this.
But Dave, you're the least wrong.
Right.
It's on the market for £399,950.
Right.
Under budget by £100,000, our mystery farmhouse had a number of spacious living areas and 9 acres of land to play with. But was it too much to take on?
I think having 9 acres was a bit scary. It's a lot, and I kind of felt like, well, we don't really need that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's somewhere the dream of what we want to do could work, but both have a wow factor, but it's greater next door.
So, in the end, which one of our 4 houses did they press ahead with and purchase? Property 1, the Victorian cottage with the annex, had given them a blank canvas to put their mark on and a manageable amount of land for the glamping business. They'd warmed to the lodge house, even though they weren't completely sold on the idea of single-storey living. The third property, the barn conversion, certainly had the wow factor, and the neighbouring mystery house had given them more land than they bargained for. But which property did Liz and Dave finally settle on? Ginny showed Dave and Liz 4 cracking houses, and I'm pleased to reveal that they wasted no time in buying the lodge house with the 4 acres of land. I'm here to find out whether they're now happy campers with maybe some happy glampers. Liz and Dave moved in 6 months ago, but in that time, they've already made a home for themselves. Hello, Liz.
Hi, Johnny.
Nice to finally meet you. You must be Dave. How are you?
Good to meet you.
Come on
I've
in.
seen you've got the kettle on. This is great news. Oh, look at this. You've got the home fires burning.
Yeah.
This feels very cosy and homely, doesn't it?
Yes.
When you looked at it, there wasn't a whole lot of furniture here, was there?
No, it's quite. Most of the rooms were quite empty.
Yeah.
So the log burning stove was on when we came, which was lovely.
Helps,
so
doesn't
that
it?
kind of gave that cosy feel. But we've obviously filled it up.
The doors were a challenge with some of the bigger things, but yes,
Yeah.
Moving stuff into a really... I mean, this is what, 1800 and...
70. I think,
Yeah, it's an
roughly.
old house, isn't it?
Yeah.
With much smaller doorways
Yes,
sometimes.
yes.
Yeah.
Can we keep taking a look around?
Yep.
Yeah, help yourself.
There's kitchen through here, isn't it?
Yep.
OK, then, the engine room. It looked big, the images I saw, but it's a
Yeah.
good-sized kitchen, isn't it?
It is, it's great. We love it.
The house part of the property search became more and more important as you went on, didn't it?
I think initially we were much more looking, what space have we got, what land is it, and that was our priority. But then when we started looking around houses, I realised I had much more of a feel for actually what I liked in a house. So, yeah.
And what you didn't like in the house. I mean, this is mostly single-storey living, and you didn't really like bungalows.
Well, it was a big surprise. I'm not against them, and in fact, I love it now. So I've changed my mind
What do you
completely.
mean, when you go against your wish list, you said you wanted perhaps some sort of downstairs living for the long term and things like this. This is it, isn't it? You've got everything here.
Yeah.
But single-storey living isn't the only thing they've had to get used to. You're in the middle of nowhere compared to where you were from in Kenilworth. Have you adjusted to that lifestyle change?
It has been different, hasn't it? It's been really different.
Yeah, we came and there was sheep in the field, and suddenly kind of twigged. We've got a lot of grass now, and so they're doing a great job keeping the grass down for us.
So you've got sheep in the field here. Who looked after it? Have you got a farmer just...
There's a local farmer.
Yeah, just across the road.
So, yeah, we've got to know him.
Yeah.
In fact, he helped us when we moved because we got the truck stuck on the gravel outside.
Townies.
So farmers are great, yes.
Yeah. Here, you're in the middle of nowhere. Your nearest pub is how far away?
It's about 1.5 miles.
Nearest
2
shop?
miles. Ooh. 2 and 3
2 and 3 quarters, yeah.
Your life is different now. Have you found you've had to plan and strategise your moves out of the house every day?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think your definition of local changes a little bit.
Yeah.
And you're also a little bit more kind of strategic. If you go out, you think, well, what else do I need while I'm out?
Before, I would perhaps pop to the shop, 10-minute walk, pick up some milk,
Yeah.
home again. Now it's 10 minutes in the car, so you don't really want to do that too much.
Liz and Dave's property may be remote, but the location allowed them to acquire more land to start their glamping business. I'm eager to see what they've done with the 4 acres that came with the house. A lot of people come on the show and they reckon they want land, and they take one look at it and think, oh, that's a lot. You knew what 4 acres looked like.
Yeah.
And wanted that,
Yeah.
just that, didn't you?
And it's perfect, because we wanted enough land to spread out our glamping pods so that people weren't right next to each other. And we were going to do some native planting in between, so there's a bit of space.
Now, looking around, either they're really well disguised or you haven't put the pods in yet.
What's the state of play at the moment?
They're not here yet. We're going through the planning process.
Okay.
We need to do a highways survey to show people can come and leave the site safely.
Well, as you're in the early stages, I thought it'd be a good idea for us to go and see someone that's got an up and running business, close enough to get to, quite handily for us now, but far enough away from them not to be competition.
Yeah.
You up for that?
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Let's go.
Okay.
Just outside the village of Dalston in Cumbria, Karen Shepherd set up her family-run glamping business last year and built 4 luxury pods on a patch of land that used to be an overgrown wilderness.
Look at these. Absolutely cracking. Look at the view they've got. Karen, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Lovely to see you.
It's early days, but business is already booming.
There was nothing here before. Did you find it a challenge to establish yourselves as a place to come?
No, not at all. It's all down to strong marketing, getting yourself out there soon enough and tapping into that market just as soon as you can. We didn't have a problem whatsoever. We had 80% occupancy in our first summer season.
Did you? That is amazing.
That's good.
And what happens later on, you know, the sort of autumn, winter?
The autumn, winter now, it tails off, but you don't stop with your inquiries. Even now we've got inquiries for summer 2018 and they're starting to come in.
The pods are equipped with all mod cons, and I'm hoping a peek inside one of them will inspire Liz and Dave.
Look at this.
I like the personalisation of it, the owl cushions and yeah.
Well, that's what you can do, can't you? I mean, if you're going to have a few pods, the last thing you want is homogeny, isn't it? You want to give them a sense of individualism, so people can perhaps request a different pod the next time they come to stay.
Yes.
Have you got any ideas of what you want to do to your pods?
Yes.
We might name them after trees, didn't we? That was one idea,
Yes.
but we're still talking about those sort of little details.
I think they need to embrace the environment that they're in, don't they?
Yeah.
Hopefully you've got something out of this. It's given you a bit more food for
Very much
thought.
so, yeah. That's great.
And I'd like to wish you the very best of luck for your enterprise. I can see you've settled into your house so well, but you've got so much of your adventure to come, haven't you?
Yes.
So, best of luck.
Great.
Let's go, shall we?
Yeah.
I say let's go. There's a hot tub here, and I've got my swimming shorts in the car.
Well, it's been great finding out what happened next to our couples who have escaped to the Cumbrian countryside. Clearly, they're at different stages of achieving their retirement dreams. Dave and Liz have settled into their new home wonderfully, but they still have a couple of hurdles to jump before they get their new business up and running. But Jill and Peter, on the other hand, well, they've been here for 5 years and their lifestyle transformation is complete. However, they are united in having chosen this stunning part of the UK as their home turf. See you next time. If you dream of escaping to the country in Scotland, Wales, England or Northern Ireland and would also like our help, you can apply online at bbc.co.uk/be on a show.